I still remember the night I counted my last coins and realized I didn't even have enough to buy bread for the next morning. That was the moment everything inside me quietly broke. My name is Millie. I wasn't born into wealth or comfort or even stability. I was born into survival. A tiny rented room, cracked walls, and a leaking ceiling were my reality growing up. My mother worked endlessly, stitching clothes late into the night, while I studied beside her under a dim bulb that flickered like it was struggling just as much as we were. I used to dream, not of luxury, but of peace. Peace where I didn't have to worry about rent. Peace where my mother could sleep without pain in her hands. Peace where I could finally breathe. And then I met Daniel. He was everything my life wasn't. Confident, charming, and full of promises. He saw me working late at a small cafe where I had taken a part-time job to support my studies. "You're too talented to stay here," he once told me, smiling like he believed in me more than I believed in myself. And slowly, I did believe him. I trusted him. I shared my dreams with him. And the biggest mistake I made was thinking he shared the same heart. Because while I was building my future, brick by brick, someone else was quietly planning to take it away from me. But I didn't know that yet. Back then, I was just a girl chasing hope, working double shifts, studying at night, and sacrificing sleep just to stay afloat. Every late night felt like a step closer to something better. Every tear felt like an investment in my future. Until one day, everything changed.
It started slowly. Daniel began offering help with my ideas. I had been working on a small online business, handmade products that I designed myself. It wasn't much, but it was mine. My effort, my creativity, my late nights. "You need someone to help you grow," he said. "Let me handle the business side." At first, it felt like a blessing. He created accounts, handled payments, talked about expanding, and I trusted him completely. While he managed things, I worked even harder. I spent nights perfecting designs, learning new skills, and pushing myself beyond exhaustion. My hands would ache, my eyes would burn, but I kept going because I believed we were building something together. Until one morning, I checked the account, and everything was gone. The money, the access, the business, even the brand name transferred. My heart dropped in a way I can't explain. I called him. No answer. Again and again. Nothing. Then finally, a message. "I did what I had to do. You wouldn't have made it anyway." That sentence shattered something deep inside me. It wasn't just betrayal. It was erasure. Like everything I had worked for never belonged to me. I didn't cry immediately. I just sat there, staring at the screen, trying to understand how someone who once encouraged me could take everything from me without hesitation. Days passed in silence. I stopped working. I stopped speaking. Even breathing felt heavy. But then I looked at my mother, still working, still struggling, still believing in me. And something inside me shifted. If I could build it once, I could build it again. But this time, I wouldn't trust blindly. I wouldn't break easily. And I wouldn't forget. So I started over, from zero, again. But this version of me was different.
This time, I worked smarter. I learned everything: business, branding, finance, protection. I made sure no one could ever take what was mine again. I rebuilt my designs. I rebranded completely. And slowly, Quietly, my work started gaining attention. People loved my authenticity, my story, my resilience. Orders came in, then more and more. Months turned into a year, and that tiny business became something I once only dreamed about. Stable, growing, mine. And then one day, I saw his name again, Daniel. He had launched a business too, but something was different. Reviews weren't good. Customers complained. People noticed the lack of originality, because what he had taken from me was never truly his. And what I rebuilt came from something deeper. I never confronted him. I didn't need to, because success became my answer, peace became my revenge, and growth became my closure. One evening, I sat beside my mother, not under a flickering bulb, but in a home filled with light. For the first time, I felt that peace I once dreamed of, and I realized something important. Betrayal doesn't destroy you unless you let it. Sometimes it reveals your strength. Sometimes it forces you to rebuild stronger. And sometimes it becomes the reason you rise higher than you ever imagined. So, if you've ever been broken, betrayed, or left behind, remember this: you are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. And that changes everything. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever been betrayed by those closest to you, know that you are stronger than the pain. Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And remember, keep blooming. If you like my story, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it.